All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. One hell of a day in the crypto market today. This is your Friday edition Crypto Rapid Fire. I want to first start out with just saying thank you to all the new subscribers. We're growing pretty quickly here for an unmonetized channel, so appreciate all the engagement in the chats. I love engaging and commenting and commenting if I see genuine comments that don't look scamish, but again, so thank y'all. I did get some requests from our subscriber base. Thank you for those that did that. Because of that, in this edition of the Crypto Rapid Fire, I will be starting with two tokens with a little more in-depth review, being Quant and Plume. And then I will go into the normal Crypto Rapid Fire, where we'll rapidly go through our list of monitored cryptos, look at the charts, stop where we think there may be some value in discussion, and we'll wrap this one up on this Friday night. So with that, tune in. Let's go. So first up will be Quant. That's one of our requested tokens, and I want to show you something special. I'm kind of glad I was alerted to this one. This was not on our list before. And actually, tell you what. Yeah, 1 second. Just make sure I want to do something real quick. Yeah, we'll do this first. So yeah, Quant, we looked at the leverage data that we had out there in the public, and we identified this zone, which the price was already down here, so I'm not taking credit for that location. I just put it on there today because I was alerted to it. And you can see that was 63 to 66, 67 roughly, and that was a leverage zone. So it's not like that's not anything coming from my system. It's just how these things work. But what you can see from my system though is, we hit this confirmed downtrend back here. You see that red cloud. The unfortunate thing here with Quant, and this is the daily view, there is no diamonds, which is okay. You can see in the hot sensors though, they weren't really in any extreme position. They were white or gray, blue and gray. And that's actually that red right there is incorrect. I need to fix the code there. It's really not red. So we didn't really have an extreme hot sensor, but we did have our leverage zone. But look at this, and this is what I keep saying in a lot of these videos. Our trigger point, firing point in a lot of cases, is when this white line gets up in these extremes. The orange line is pinned. Let me zoom in so you can actually see this too. Orange line is penetrating through that green zone, and the blue line's approaching it. That is gold in this system. Now, I really wish we would have had diamonds here to confirm that, but that's okay. So what do we expect next? Typically, this doesn't happen every single time. But what we would expect to see is, again, when it pumps up through this cloud, more times than not, it's going to hit one of these moving averages. These are resistance points at this time. That's the 50-day that it's approaching right now. You can see it kind of penetrated it today, kind of moved right, closed, kind of right back below that. But you got the 50, 100, and 200 here. Usually it will pump through that cloud, retrace back to the top of the cloud, which would be somewhere, this thing should transform from red to green, probably come back to the cloud, then off it should go. That's what I would expect. So what did we do? We went out and looked at the leverage zones. We've identified two upper zones on Quant. That is the 110 to 113 or 114 mark, and then higher at 123 to 128. And that's where we would expect this thing to go based on leverage. And, as we always say, price tends to navigate or trend toward those high areas of liquidity. So I will show you what that looks like. I believe this is Plume. Let me look at Quant. And we're going to go on the 3-month view here. Yep. And this is pretty nasty. Again, look at this. This is freaking beautiful. It took it all out. It could have, now we'll say, it could have come down to $63. That would have been the absolute wipeout. So it didn't quite make it down that low, but look at this. And not to say that it can't pump back down here once again, but look at this. This is why I believe we're going higher. That's a price of 112, 113. That bright green right there, for I guess this token, that is a high amount of liquidity or high amount of leverage for this chart. So that's typically where prices tend to go. So whether it pumps back to 60 or 50, $9 or not, who knows, but would not be shocked to see 113 on Quant. And we're only trading at Even after today's pump, we're at 87. So pretty nice there. So quant's looking decent. Again, not financial advice, just my opinion and based on my interpretation of my system. Consult an advisor before making any trades. I only provide informational and educational information. I think I messed that up, but that's okay. You get the point. The other one was Plume. Where is my Plume on here? Now this one looks a little different. I'm liking what I see here. So what you're going to see here on Plume is, again, we had that downtrend. We looked at the leverage, all up in that zone right now. So again, I can't stress the importance of these zones. We also are complementing that with level 1 diamonds. Not the best diamond, level 3s are the best. But you can see here in the orange, in the yellow on the short term hot sensor, that's not too bad. Could this retrace back tomorrow and go lower? That I would probably have to look at the liquidation on Plume. So let's go in here and take a peek. Oh, I'm trying to get this. There we go. Let me get this scaled down a little bit. Oh man. Oh, that's such a dirty little game this is. Absolutely wiped it all out. All the leverage. Look at this. I mean, you can barely see that on the screen, but that was around, that's only $1,000 down there at 0.046. So literally wiped it out. It's already up 50% from that. It's went up to 60 cents or 6 cents almost. So if it goes lower, I don't really know. I wouldn't expect it to because there's nothing else to wipe out really. I mean, I guess it could a little bit, but in my opinion and what I've seen over time, this would be the bottom for Plume. We have an extraordinary amount of good stuff happening up here for Plume. This is your 11.5 cents, 12 cents mark, bright green. I would not be shocked to see 11 and 12 cents on Plume, and then upwards, if they want to take it all out, you're looking at anywhere from 15 to 16 cents. That's just leverage data, so you can see, again, we've got them marked on our screens, 10 to 12 cents, and basically 15 to 16 cents. Again, the difference here with Plume, look at our standard deviation methodologies. It's not there yet, right? So that white line, it's only entering the green. It needs to be up here above that red zone into those extremes. And the blue and orange lines are still in the lower extremes. So this one still showing a little weakness, but there's just nothing else to wipe out. So for me, this would be a fantastic opportunity in my portfolio to where I would go dollar cost average in here. But that's just me. You have to make your own decisions and do, based on your own risk, objectives and tolerance. So, but that's what I would be doing with my personal money right here on Plume. So those were two good ones. So again, thank y'all. You know who you are. Hope you enjoyed that. Again, anytime you want an update on these, certainly let me know. Well, hang on. We're not done yet. Check this out. This is on Plume still, on the weekly view. We're in the orange. You know what this is? Friends, that is a level 3 diamond on the weekly. Long-term view. Level 3. That's all I need to say. And so I didn't look at the level. I didn't look at the weekly on Quant. So let's go back to Quant. I want to be fair here. 1 second. Where is it? Quant. Okay. Yep. So still level 1. Only level 1 on the weekly on Quant. So they do look a little different, but not too bad on both of those, my friends. Not too bad. So, so right now, I want to show you a video I posted, just a small clip. It's less than 2 minutes. I just want to show you real fast of a clip I made the other day. I'm going to show you something. It's wild, and I hope you get value from this. And then we'll go straight to our crypto rapid fire. So let me show you this real quick. Make sure y'all can see that. Yep. Okay. Pay attention here. And sorry, apologies in advance. You're fixing to hear about 3 seconds of really loud noise. That is an alert. So apologies, but it's part of the video. And that's what our system does when something hits. So just pay attention. And this starts out talking about Doge coin. On that call, I was doing expanded that zone down to 50. Hang on. Man, that was loud. I don't know if y'all heard that, but it's in my ear. But that's an alert we just got on Algorand, so we'll look at that in just a minute. But back to Doge. There's that 15 cent. Literally pegged it. Again, we nailed it. Look at here. Level 3 diamond on Doge. That's on the weekly candle. So let's go look at our leverage and see where we're at on Doge, because I think we might be getting there. And we got ETFs coming. Makes sense. They're liquidating everybody. Oh my God. It's mm-hmm. Friends. I have learned to trade without fear and greed. Look at that. They literally wiped it all out. Literally all of it. Right down here. 15 cents. Which happens to be where our zone is, right? Look at where the next bright green level is. 27 cents. That's good enough on that part. So obviously Doge will be in the crypto rapid fire session, but look at where it is. It's already back to 17. Look at that. Right off the bottom of that zone that we expanded during that video, and we've already got the upper end identified. So this is the kind of stuff you're going to see in these videos. We're not pumping one specific token. The messaging won't be the same every single video. Things change, price action moves, alerts fire. So this is why I think we're providing a lot of value. If you get value out of it, please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell. And again, we're not monetized, so you know I'm being genuine here. I'm just here to educate and inform. One day we might monetize. Who knows if it gets that popular? But if you're here, I think you found one hell of a system. This very well may be one of the best crypto TA channels out there, but that's for you to decide. If you think it is, tell me in the comments, because their algorithms do pick up on the sentiment from our subscriber base. So if you like what you see and hear, please comment and let us know. I would certainly appreciate that. But going back to that video, one more quick clip from that video, and this was about the 11 minute 36 second mark. Right about here. Let's check this out. And this is on, is this still Doge or is this? So let's go look at Algorand since we got a live alert here. Algorand, yeah. And look at here. It's amazing how this stuff works. Level 3 diamond in our system on Algorand. Now this is getting interesting. We're close, because on the weekly view, which is that long-term view, right? We got the level 3, and notice something right there. When we're talking, you can see the price over there in that price bar to the right. It was at 0.147, so just under 15 cents. Okay. Diamond, we're yellow, we're orange. We just need a little bit of movement on this white line. And really, before I look at that white line on the weekly, I'd be looking at this white line on the daily. Listen to that. Because again, over here we're yellow. That can turn orange and red really fast. I would suspect or expect that we would see some diamonds here shortly. And then as soon as that white line gets up here in these extremes, that's my marker. That's what I'm doing. You probably shouldn't copy me though. I'm really risky, but nice. There you go. You heard it right there. I want to show you this. Algorand today. All right. What did we see? Price action coming up through the cloud. Look at the white line. Literally almost into those extremes. Orange line, we just need a little bit more. It needs to be through that green zone. And that blue line needs to continue just underneath that green. That's that firing point I keep talking about. So, I mean, we do have a crossover on the short-term hot sensor, improving hot sensors on the medium-term and long-term, because again, white, gray, blue, yellow, orange, red. So things are certainly looking better here for Algorand. Obviously, it's come way down. You can see we hit those diamonds back here in the past. Again, we expect that pump through these moving averages. That's your resistance zone here. Likely a retracement back to the cloud, just like I said earlier, and boom, off and running. Um, so not looking too bad here. That's what we want that white line to be doing. So that's Algorand for now. So, all right, so crypto rapid fire. Are we ready? Are we ready? We're going to do this real quick. We're going to stop along the way where I think we need to stop. And there may not be too many, there may be a few, but start with Bitcoin. Here we go. The only thing I'm going to say here on Bitcoin, I usually stop on Bitcoin every time. So we communicated this in our last set of videos. We've got one lower zone identified around 85 to 87,000. That could wipe out all the leverage. We are in a confirmed downtrend. That white line has not penetrated through those zones yet. So be careful here. This thing could maintain a downward trajectory. I would love it to go to 85 to 87, but this thing could easily, based on what this does over the next couple of days, this thing could easily start pumping up here, just like the other ones have, back through the cloud into those moving averages before we see a retracement, and then upward trajectory from there. So pay attention to Bitcoin. XRP, very similar. We know we got ETFs coming. We're just not quite there on XRP. It's in the green zone and the white, still the lower extremes on the other two lines. All three hot sensors are below the midline. So we're getting there, just not comfortable yet. At least adding to my position. Again, large holders of XRP to be transparent, but again, not quite there. And a lot of these may be the same, so if I don't see anything really different, I'm going to move on. So H-bar, I'm going to move on. 1 inch. 1 inch. Man, look at this. This is looking pretty. So 1 inch is not looking too bad here. You can see we nailed the zone literally right around the bottom. We've now pumped up back into those moving averages, just like we keep saying. We actually have a level 1 diamond. And although we see that white line in those extremes and that orange line above the green, this is exactly what we want. This is the firing point. But again, I still feel like when we see that, it can easily retrace back to the top and then it resumes higher. So, I'm not telling you to buy or sell anything, but I would love to see this thing come back to around 18, and that's 10%. So I don't really know if you want to fight over 10% for, what is that, 40, 50%? So, and I don't own 1 inch, and I'm not buying 1 inch, but again, that's just my interpretation of what I think this price action can do. So that is 1 inch. Let's keep moving. Aave. We can skip Aave. There's Cardano in the leverage zone right now as we speak. White line in these upper extreme are penetrating toward those upper extremes. Things are showing improvement here, but we're not quite out of the danger zone yet. I don't really ever like to trade, especially when it's in or around the bottom of the cloud. That is not the place to be. So this is kind of, you're in no man's land here. And again, that might be pretty similar to a lot of these. So that's Cardano. So very close, big holders of Cardano, transparency. But I would not be adding just yet. Not enough confirmation for me personally. Arrow, we can skip. We don't do those two anymore. API 3, we can skip. Algo, we just talked about. Aptos. Again, you can look at these zones I've identified. We're nailing the bottom of them, and we pumped higher today. So all you got to do, we're talking about $5.36 to 500 or $5.60 something cents. That's over a 100% return from here. Obviously, that's what I think. The path to that point will likely be volatile. Again, we look for certain consistencies in these price actions. They all typically follow a similar pattern, and that's just what typically happens. So that's Aptos. Arbitrum. Arbitrum's interesting. Yeah, so check out this. Okay. Looks very interesting, actually. So Arbitrum, again, nailing this zone. Show me any other channel doing this for you. Like half of these were literally in the zone. we can see we're sitting right above the cloud actually, and right above this zone. So they probably wiped everything out. We got improving hot sensors on all three. We're in the red over here on the medium weekly view with a level 3 diamond, my friends. Level 3 right there, that dark green in the red down here. And when you're in the red with a level 3 on the long-term view or long-term horizon, and you're starting to see that white line trickle up, not telling you to buy or sell, that chart looks great. That's Arbitrum, 29 cents, November 7th. Just remember what I said. All right. Cosmos, we'll skip. Avalanche. I like it, but we're in that no man's land, so I wouldn't be adding to my my stuff here, but we're right in between these leverage zones, which is typically a good area. I mean, it's should be near a bottom, but you can see we're orange over here on the weekly medium term. We're blue and yellow. So it could be a little volatile around this zone, but things are looking to improve here. So not bad there on Avalanche. B&B. Oh, so ugly. Man, look at this, guys. Oh man, look at that zone. It hit the zone with a diamond in the red, in the red, in the red, in the red, in the red. Extremes. I mean, that screamed run, and voila, here you come. That's just how we use the system. That's just a good example of how you could have leveraged this to kind of, or how I leveraged this to make my own decisions. But yeah, and we called for a price even lower than 986. If you go back and look at some of our early videos, B&B was in there, and we were calling for like 830 to 840. So I don't know. It's obviously declining now, so we'll see how far we go. That 830 level, that's somewhere right in between. Yeah, it's right in between the bottom of that cloud on the weekly view and the 50-day moving average. And if you look over here on the daily view, it's right around the 200-day moving average, which makes a lot of sense. But that's B&B. Bonk. Bonky bonk. Since we're heavy in the Doge now, again, we made a Doge trade live. I think I already talked about Doge, but so we're not going to really talk about Bonk tonight. Centrifuge, we can skip. There we already talked about Doge, Polkadot. These pumps are nice today. Good gracious. Ethereum. Oh. Uh-huh. Hang on a second. Let me look at Ethereum for you guys. I want to see the liquidation heat map on this one. Liquidation heat map on Ethereum. Oh, okay. Interesting. Whew. So you can literally see, I don't know if you can see it because of that label there, but it literally went right down here to 3,067, wiped out that bright leverage. There's still some down here, all the way down here to around, well, I say some, hell, that's $300 million. That's 2,642, that's the price point. I mean, you would have to see like one of those scam wicks to probably knock that out, but look at this on the upside. Bright green, multiple levels here at 4,791, 4,958, and roughly 5,000, let's just call it 165. So ETH right now, 3,434, playing around some main key support levels at the 200-day in the leverage liquidation zone. Again, you can see the scam wick, but I wouldn't be surprised if this one goes into the 5,000s from here. That's just my opinion, not financial advice. Filecoin. I don't know if y'all saw this one today. And yes, if you go back and look at some of our videos, again, my videos don't lie, folks. I sold Solana 240, which was, I think, the top. I have since bought a lot of Filecoin. I'll just put it that way. You can see what happened today, and you can see back here we had a level 3 diamond at the bottom of this cloud, or the bottom of this candle back on October 11th. So less than a month ago, trading at 156. We're at 293. That's a hell of a return, ladies and gentlemen, on the level 3 diamonds. And look at that leverage zone right there. We don't have the upper zone identified, so let's go do that on Filecoin because I am very, very interested in this one. Ooh, it should be the same, right? It's two different charts. Just make sure we get the right thing here. Okay, yeah, they got the wrong. Let's wipe this out here. Hang on, guys. Oh, oh my gosh. I hope y'all see this, right? Oh my goodness gracious, guys. It's pure manipulation. It's the only thing. It's the only thing I can even think of. I mean, tell me what you think, but good gracious, look at this. Wiped out the leverage, literally right here at the bottom. Took that out, and then one day, or maybe 1 to 2 days, whatever, we were sitting at $1.27. We are now. Oh my God. Oh, I didn't realize it even pumped that high. Did it go to $4 on my chart? Oh yeah, 393. Okay. Wow, that is impressive. Look at this, guys. I want you to see this. You really need to. This was your leverage right here at 267 for Filecoin. That's your leverage points. Now it's not a lot of money. It's 70,000 right there. But for Filecoin, this is where the high leverage is comparatively, right? That was at 269. So what do? They pump that crap to $4. You're liquidated. Most of those people are liquidated. And I don't know if that's probably not institutions because it's small dollar leverage. That's your retail getting absolutely crushed and wiped out. That's what that is. I will stick to my guns on that until someone proves me wrong. But that is pure. You are out of the market. Thanks for playing. That's why I don't mess with leverage. I'm telling you, this is special. But good gracious, that is ugly. So yeah, I would not be willing to tell you where to go from here after that wipeout because now there's essentially no leverage. So again, and we got level 2 diamonds here, so I would expect this thing to retrace on back down now, back to this cloud down here. So I would certainly expect a retracement, but that's me, not financial advice. But that's what I would think there. Near protocol, same thing. And I tell y'all what, we have, yeah, there's still quite a few to go. Okay, I'm gonna try to wrap this up and make this a little faster. Let me look at link. We can keep going past link, maker. And I know I skipped a few, but I need to because I've got some company coming. Ondo. And tell y'all what, guys, apologize. I covered the ones I wanted to cover tonight. There will be some other videos coming up shortly because I've got some stock stuff as well. But stay tuned. Again, if you appreciate this stuff, this content, get value from the TA, please like, share, subscribe, hit that bell. I love my community. Truly do this because I want to, not because I have to. Hope you have a blessed Friday night, and we'll see y'all tomorrow. It's game day. Get pumped up. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.